Well, what's up, YouTube? Making another video I haven't done in a long time. No excuse, just haven't made one. Basically making this to see if anybody has ever dealt with these. So, this is a milling machine. The old milling machine I used to do for this guy, I used to take T30 holders. If anybody knows, I doubt anybody's going to even know what I'm talking about with these. I don't know. For sure, a lot of people haven't really dealt with this too much, but... So, the other machine, I should grab one that these used to be on. I think I have some left. Teeth. I guess I don't have any left. T3. That's what it was. T3. No. I wish I had one to show you guys what that was like. But the old machine had holders that this was just a slot in here, and this holder would go down, and then there was a big lock Allen that came down on top, and it wedged on top of it. The problem with those things were, I mean, I've got them down pretty pat where they weren't so much an issue, but if it was just a regular person, mechanic that hasn't dealt with them too much, if you don't clean those threads out, they do not get tight. So I've made taps to thread those, or to clean those threads out. So those just came down and they wedged on there. Now this is a machine, this is the first time I'm doing these. So what they say to do, the company that designed this drum, was to back off on these bolts here and whack these bolts with a hammer. But as you can tell, there's no room. Some of these are really, really tight, like down in here. You can't swing a hammer in there. It's impossible. I tried to make a tool, somewhat of a tool, just a bolt. You know, it's just got a nut welded on the end on an angle to go inside there, because what happens is these are wedges. They thread in and they wedge into these blocks. But what they say to do anyway, hit these, whack these back and forth with a sledgehammer. It'll take you 20 minutes each one to get these things off. I've tried so many different ways, heating them up. I've tried everything. Nothing cuts down the time on it. So you can see how, like, this one here is worn down. These ones he's not changing. Ones that are like this little lip that's here. I'm gonna see where the teeth sit. We can probably just grind these little edges down that are on here. There's just a little tiny lip right here on the edge. If it clears it, then I'm just gonna leave it. But I'll show you what these look like. Here's your tooth. Actually goes in the other way. This is a wedge. That bolt goes in this way. There's one bolt that holds it here, and you have two wedges that go in here like this, and they sit inside a socket. It's like a half moon socket. But there is no way to get these things loose. They're wedged in there so tight. So what I've been doing is just cutting out the wedges. They don't do any damage when you cut them out, because if you've done enough cutting. You know what I'm talking about. You can just cut these off without cutting into this. As long as you're not getting this real hot, it's not going to burn into there. Even if it does, first off, I'm cutting up in here on the top of this. It's going to cut into this. These are no good anyway. They're getting changed out. Even if it cuts into this a little bit, which I haven't had one do it yet, it's not a problem. But basically making this video, wondering if anybody's ever dealt with this, because that's the only way I've figured out how to get these things out the fastest way possible. Because when you're doing a whole bunch of them, like I'm doing here, as you can tell, there's 1, 2, 3 here. Almost all these end ones are messed up. See on the top. On his other machine, they did this before too. You shouldn't have to change these things. If you check your teeth every day, and you change them as soon as they're wearing down, a lot of companies, they just change them out after every big job they're doing anyway. They change all the teeth out. But up there's a couple of them worn. But on his old machine, they wore these down completely, all the way down to here. I've had to cut these off completely and re-weld these on. 2 separate times. They took out like 3 rows. It was this row, that row, and that end row on his old machine. And I did it on the machine, and it sucked. I wish I would have took the drum off. It would have been a hell of a lot easier than doing this. So, yeah, I'll take one off and show you guys what I do. And hopefully somebody has a better idea than how I'm doing it, because this is a pain in the ass. Actually, take these bolts off first. This one. I don't want that concrete blowing up in my face. I'm gonna take this other bolt off. I'd much rather do that than try to beat them things out. And I'm not going to make a video of that because that sucked. And I just tap on those things. Some of them just fall right out. And just stick a bolt in here. You got a little bit. Nicked it right on the back side, but trust me, it's good. See, they sit in those like half moon pockets and they wedge into that shank. So if anybody has any other good ideas on how to do that, I would love to know, but let me show you the machine itself and what else is going on. W2000. Can't really get a good view of it, but let me take this off.